Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and sometimes we have to just admit that we might have been wrong about something. I am on record many times on this channel, other people's channels, podcasts, etc., that I'm not really a big Speedmaster fan. I own one. I own a Speedy reduced, which we will see in a minute. But I've always thought that Omega just kind of rides the Speedmaster train a little bit too much. And I've said there's really no other Speedmaster that I'd ever want except for a Snoopy. And that's not what this video is about, because something else came across my feed the other day. This was on Monday. I bought it. I had it on Thursday. It's Friday. I'm doing a video on it because I simply love it. Even my wife saw it and said, wow, that's a really nice watch. And I said, why, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It checked a lot of boxes for me. That's it. Let's check it out. So just a quick 1-minute background about the first Speedy or the only Speedy that I owned up until like a day ago. This is the Speedy Automatic Reduced, which is no longer manufactured. Yes, it has a lot of battle scars. This watch dates for me back to 1994. It was given to me as a graduation present from my parents. This is known as the 3510. It is a 39mm Speedmaster. And yes, it's been worn a whole lot, but as I said, I never really felt the urge to get the full-size Moon watch or anything else until the Snoopy came out recently. But whatever they're going for, 10 grand, 10K or something, 10 grand, kind of crazy. So this satisfied my Moon watch, desire, even though a lot of people poo-poo it and say it's not really a Moon watch. Until, whoa! This came across my Reddit exchange feed. As I said, saw it on a Monday, bought it Monday night, had it on Thursday. It is Friday. I'm getting ready to go to DC for district time, and I'm filming a video on it because I am so freaking enamored with it. It is such a good looking watch. And yeah, it's pretty much the same case as the 3510. So let's go over, I'll give you a little bit of history, a little bit of info. I'm not really much of a, a history guy and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what I like about the watch, why it checks the boxes for me, etc. So this is part of what they call the 1999 collection, and yeah, duh, it came out around 99. I dated this watch to around 99, 2000 by the serial number. They made them for about 5 years. So this is model number 3523.80. They made a silver dial version. They made a black dial. I'll throw photos up. They made a black dial version, which is probably the more popular one. That's the 3520. But there is one known as the Mark 40, which is model number 3520.53, affectionately known as the Schumacher. So now here's where the story starts. A Schumacher came across my feed a few weeks ago, and it's the same watch except it's got different color variations. And the person was selling it, and they said they were open to trades, and I said, hey, okay, what do you want from my store? Let's figure it out. But it was just way too much money. They went for like 3 or 4 grand. And I just wasn't looking to spend that at that point. And then this came up. And these, the blue dial, the black dial, they are far, far, far more affordable. You get them on eBay for under 2K. I saved a little bit through Reddit by getting it direct from a guy I had a very good exchange with. He goes by, I think it was WatchX on Reddit. Not affiliated, not promoted, etc. Just had a really good exchange with him. So this satisfied what I wanted. So let's go over it. So this is as I said, this is the Omega 3523.80. So it is powered by an Omega caliber, Omega, I don't care how you say it, 1151, which is based on a Valjoux 7751. And that is one of the boxes it checks for me. I've never owned a watch with a 7751 movement in it. The 7751 is based on the 7750, which is your straight 3 sub-dial chronograph. The 7753 has 3 at the bottom, but the 7751 adds full calendar capability. So as you can see at the 12 o'clock register, I have, I'm running a chronograph just so you can kind of see it run, but you have day to the left, month to the right, date as a pointer, Oh yeah, so that's full calendar. You have day, month, and date. I don't own a full calendar analog watch. This satisfied it. The 7751, interesting to note, did also incorporate a moon phase at the 6 o'clock. Omega decided to, I guess, take out that part of the movement when they modified it. I'll go over this subdial over here and what all the subdials do in a minute. But as you can see right now, the chronograph is running. Okay, it's a 25 joule base movement. I'm not sure how many joules the 1151 is. Power reserve of roughly 40 to 45 hours. This case is 39, so it's 14 thick, and that's the only difference between these two boys. The cases are fairly identical, I think, otherwise. You know, I'll go like that so you can see them. But you look at the case back. Look at the case back differential. The 7750 is a chunky boy, as people certainly know. And the case back had to be, you know, jammed out a bit to accommodate that. However, it still is 14 thick to that domed sapphire crystal, which is really good. I mean, it's still compact, even for a Valjoux. It's 44 and a half on the lug tip to lug tip. I just told you it was a dome sapphire. It's an 18 millimeter lug, same as my 3510. 5 atmospheres of water resistance, so yeah, kind of useless in that department. It weighs about 127 grams. That's how I weighed it with the links removed for me. So, thing number one, a 7751 type movement. Number two, a beautiful, beautiful blue dial with rhodium plated markers and hands. Is that not stunning? It captivates both the dress watch motif and the sport watch, whereas the Schumacher to me is probably more of a sport watch than anything. This, I mean, I could wear this dressed up, even though I don't dress up. You know, but I could wear this with my best hoodie, and it would be totally, totally awesome. Look at that. Is that not? That dial is amazing. Amazing. What I really dug about it, Bracelet's really nice. So I've never owned a watch with a clasp like this. So there's no micro on the clasp, right? It's a little button here. It's a single button that you hit it and it opens up. So they did give you a half link. It's right there, if that is the micro that you get. However, when you undo the clasp, it slides. And that's how they get away, because if it was just like this, you wouldn't be able to get it over your hand. So it actually slides open. I know people are probably going like, yeah, Mark, a lot of brands do that. I've never seen this before. And to me, so cool. So you close it, and it's a nice little, you know, almost like a, I can't get it with gloves on, almost like a hidden clasp. It's super cool, and now I look like an idiot. There we go. Perfect. I don't need any help looking like an idiot. So like I said, so this is the 3523.80, and it is, man, like I said, this kind of changed my mind. So do I still want a Speedy? Yeah, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I'm just going to put it on for you. Yeah, I still do want a Snoopy, possibly one day, but I think for now I definitely won't get a Schumacher because it's kind of like the same watch, just less dressy, if you will. I like that this checks all the boxes. Let's go over the operation real quick, and I'll be done with the video. Again, it's a personal video, clearly. I'm not selling this watch. So I'm going to, the chrono is running. You have chrono running seconds here. It's right now it's passing like 16, 17. I'm going to stop it. So this chrono has been running for 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I'm going to reset it, okay? There we go. So you have elapsed chrono minutes is your subdial. I'm going to let it run again just so I can get the hand out of the way. Elapsed chrono minutes at the 12. That is your 30 minutes. So that goes around once. The hour indicator at the 6 will get halfway to the 1 hour mark. So it's a 12-hour chronograph. Again, super useful. Too many chronographs nowadays are just 60 minutes, which kind of doesn't make much sense. But then you might say, what the heck is going on the left here? And that's interesting, because both of the things on here, fairly useless. The big arrow that's pointing to 10, or almost 11 actually, you probably figure out by now, that is just 24-hour time, not independently settable. It is your useless AM, PM indicator. Which on the Schumacher, they made the color is a little bit different, so it means a little bit more. But because they put the arrow on it, the broad arrow, it just adds so much more to the space element or the flight element of Speedmaster. That to me is just the chef's kiss touch, if you will. I thought that was such a smart design move because it looks like a clock. I don't know. or an instrument gauge. And you might have guessed that other little hand that is traveling around, yeah, that's just running seconds on the 7751. That is what it's supposed to be here, and as is the AM/PM indicator, it is just a running seconds indicator. However, there are no running seconds markings, so that makes it super, super duper simple. And then you read the date on the outside by the red arrow pointer. And setting the watch was really cool, because a lot of times on full calendars, setting them is part of the battle. With this, it was super easy. You may notice before when I turned it, there was a hidden pusher. You might say, oh, well, that hidden pusher must activate the month. No, the hidden pusher activates the day. When you pull out the crown one click, one direction changes the date, and that's it. You change the date. As the date passes through 31, the month moves. So obviously you have to set it or keep it wound so that it keeps up with time. But if it loses wind and it sits there for a few days, it's not a big deal. You just you just run the date a few times, quick adjust for the day, and you're back in business. A lot of times with a perpetual calendar, setting the month, it isn't a perpetual calendar because it's not going to do the 30, 31, 29, 28 thing. But setting the month is the most difficult thing to do. Anyway, that's it. So this is my new Omega Speedmaster. I got one. Will a Snoopy be in my future? I don't know. It's possible. I will say, is it cost? Is it the cost issue? Not really. It's not the cost issue. It's more of, I just don't want to spend that kind of money on a watch when something like this is, man, far less and beautiful. Has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you my new Speedy. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. Questions, comments, anything else you want to say, put it down below. I'll be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.